Wisconsin.
David Gilreath from the 3. 25, 30, 35, explodes midfield. A chance to return the opening kickoff for 6. He'll take it to the house.
It's blocked unbelievably. Wisconsin with a chance to pounce. Touchdown Badgers. Unbelievable. Simply shocking. Steinberg. Touchdown.
Taylor slips through an opening, and Taylor into the secondary. Jonathan Taylor. Can he take it the distance? He can. Touchdown Badgers.
Live from the best college football town in the world, this is ESPN Wisconsin College Gameday.
It is ESPN Wisconsin College Gameday, presented by Coors Light. I'm Alex Gravatt alongside Brad Nortman and Adam Mertz, your normal guys. We also have Riley Yauk, so it's a double fill-in Saturday for you. We've got the B team effectively, and effectively we're playing a B team, right? The Wisconsin Badgers set to host the Purdue Boilermakers. They're 12.5-point favorites. But before we get to that, I just want to thank you both for being very upfront about the timing in which you will get here. Brad Nortman, 8:52 he called it, and he was on the dot.
I am nothing if not honest, accurate, and a forward communicator. So I said, and you know how I even did that? I'm a big Google Maps guy, right? Big Google Maps. No free ads, but Google Maps. So when I left the house, Oconomowoc, Wisconsin, I knew exactly when I was going to be here. I knew exactly how long it would take to walk here. It's calculated, boys, calculated.
And Mertzy, you were the first one to give us a heads up. You're coming in a little hot. We're talking about modes of transportation. Were you driving in, run one of those scooters you were talking about?
Yeah, and no jetpack. I'm dreaming, like someday I would love to ride in a jetpack. That would be incredible. I'd probably die, but it would be a hell of a ride right up until the end.
ESPN Wisconsin College Gameday is presented by Coors Light. When you need refreshment on game day, choose a beer that's cold as the Rockies, cold filtered, cold lagered, and cold packaged for peak refreshment. When the mountains are blue, you know what to do. And that's Crush a Coors Light 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. All right, well, it's 844-770-3776. That's your way into the show. If you have questions, should we be worried about this Badgers team against a Purdue team, despite Purdue being statistically in the hundreds for college rankings in almost every category? I mean, they're just not a good football team. But I want to turn it over to you. What are your first thoughts? When you saw this game on the schedule before the season, did you feel differently than you feel now about this game, Brad?
Well, I really don't. I thought that the Wisconsin Badgers would be 2-2 entering this week against Purdue. They are indeed 2-2. And I didn't think Purdue would be a very good team. Everyone sort of knew they'd be in the bottom fourth of the Big Ten, and they just find themselves literally not the bottom fourth, but like 18 of 18 in the Big Ten if you were to stack them all up totem pole style. So I look at this as a Wisconsin Badgers team that's just desperate for a feel-good win, right? Because even the wins at the start of the season, South Dakota, Western Michigan, nothing about those felt good, right? Those are the teams that you usually hammer, right? Like start to finish, clearly the better team. Never felt like that about this Wisconsin Badger team. And if they need it at any moment, it is now, right? Not only who you play, but when you play them, coming off of two marquee opponents, two opponents that will likely be in the college football playoff at the end of the year. We are. It's clear to me now, if it wasn't before, Wisconsin Badgers, they're just not at that level, right? It's obvious they're not at that level. That's okay. This game and the stretch of the next 3 games is really what I think Wisconsin Badger fans and me, we need to see. I want to see where they stack up against the bottom and the middle of the Big Ten. It's a big difference. It's a big difference going 3-3 or 2-3 over the next 3 weeks, starting with Purdue, or only winning 1 game, right? So with Purdue, this is Wisconsin's best opportunity for a wire-to-wire showcase on who this team is, who this team wants to be, and to elicit a little bit of confidence not only in the fan base, but themselves. Because, guys, I played on that field, and, throughout my playing career, you have, like, the internal competitor. You have internal confidence. But every once in a while, you need some external validation, right? You really
Absolutely.
do. You need to have a little bit of external validation to say, you know what? I know I can do it, and I just proved to everybody else I can do it. That's what that Wisconsin Badger team needs today.
Mertzy, is this where they get their external validation?
If they don't, we have a really interesting post-game show.
Sure do.
Yeah, there's this kind of like the bad, the good, the ugly is how I'm looking at it. The bad right now, especially saw this summarized, and you're like, wow. So Badgers are 2-2, lost by a combined 49 points in their last 2 games. Lost their starting quarterback to an ACL tear. Their top running back just stepped away from the program. And they're getting called out on social by their former bruising running back. So, like, it's not a good time right now. But Purdue, my Lord. Like, I thought that Hudson Card, I was like, this guy's kind of dynamic. There's some things he can do. Maybe they'll be competitive this year. The wheels are falling off of that program. They lost by 59 to Notre Dame. That was the start of their 3-game losing streak. This morning, word came out that they dismissed their top cornerback. It's
with the expectation to come back. Next year, the expectation is he will be back.
What? So you got
makes
that.
0 sense.
You have the fact that they got rid of Graham Harrell as their offensive coordinator last week. They have a guy who was coaching high school football 2 years ago as their analyst, now calling plays. Like, it's just ugly. And they've lost 17 straight to the Badgers also. So this is, like, huge, though. You know, you can't get cocky about this team, as Brad was saying. Like, they've done nothing to prove that they can take care of someone handily. And if you're going to look at the analytics, this is the last game that they are favored to win this year, except for Northwestern.
Northwestern
Those are the two games.
I'm glad you brought that up. I was going to say we should get into that later, but we're here, we're now. Why not? The Badgers are favored in this game and one other. Do you think that that's echoing through the locker room right now? How do you not lose the locker room buy-in when all of a sudden you're only favored to go, or you're only expected to win 4 games?
Well, it's still early enough in the season that I'm not sure that anyone is losing their mind, whether it be coaches or players, because again, like, they're 2-2 and they lost the 2 games they should lose, and they won the 2 games they should win. But it's a game like this that if you lose, things can change very quickly, and especially in today's college football, it's never been easier or more logical to think about yourself, right? It's never before. Even like when I was playing my freshman year, we were top 10 preseason. I remember being it was like July, right? School hasn't even started, training camp hasn't even started, and like on a college football preseason magazine, like the Phil Steele, whatever preseason magazine, it projected that we were going to go to the Rose Bowl. And I'm like 18 years old. I'm going to go to the Rose Bowl as a freshman. Obviously, that didn't happen, and the season kind of cascaded. We ended up getting 7 wins, but you just look at that, and you realize things can change very quickly, right? And that was even when development, you were basically locked into the program for 4 years. Now, guys can just opt out whenever, right? They can literally say, you know what? I'm going to go to the transfer portal. I'm just not trying to get hurt, so I'm going to dismiss myself from the team. I'm going to check out from the team. There are so many different ways that programs can free fall at this moment. Losing a game like this, and all the external noise, and all the basically lack of belief in this team, in the future, that's the thing that can really spark by losing a game like Purdue. So I don't think it happens today, but it is that fragile. And if you don't win this game, I don't see how they make it to a bowl. Like, that bowl streak is going to be incredibly hard to do. So there are still games on the schedule that are must-wins, and, like, there's really no excuse for – I don't care how much in transition you are. You shouldn't lose to this Purdue team, this specific Purdue team, which is in the most turmoil of any Big Ten team in the conference. So there's just no excuse.
Badgers, this is interesting too. Badgers are 9-10 against teams from power conferences at Camp Randall since 2020.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
9-10. They need to reestablish home field as somewhere where you feel like it's a tough place to play, get some confidence going. And you know what's important about that, Brad? You mentioned it. It's not just for the team on this one. It's for the fans that are piling into the stadium. If they don't see something today that gives them a reason to want to come back and to want to be engaged for the rest of the year, things get a lot more difficult in the court of public opinion.
Yeah, it really does. And I think everybody is trying – I think everybody wants Luke Fickell to have success, right? I mean, there's a lot of blowback, and there's a lot of discomfort about the changes that he's making, right? Or at least Coach Longo and Coach Tressel are making. But I think that Coach Fickell is well-liked. He says all the right things. He's seemingly a really good guy, really positive leader. There's a lot to like about him. But in the same way that internally in a team things can cascade and spiral, what about fans? What about NIL? I mean, at some point, if you're an NIL donor, you want to see some success on the field. And if you're losing against teams like Purdue and the bottom fourth of the Big Ten, maybe that pocketbook gets a little tighter. Maybe it's a little bit harder to open up. And then the problems are just starting to begin, because then how can you afford the best talent? And it's just the world we live in. And it's something you got to cut off, and cut it off quickly, because it can really create a lot of toxicity and a lot of barrenness in a program.
Man, NIL is so weird because it's becoming contracts, effectively. You know, the UNLV quarterback, he stepping away because he's not getting paid directly. It's weird. But Luke Fickell did respond to critics, and I think that this kind of puts in perspective what Wisconsin is as a program. If people don't have passion for what we're doing, we wouldn't have sold-out crowds. We wouldn't have the environment that we create here. So there is still passion amongst the fans, but there's also a lot of hesitation this year, right? A new head coach, a new style of offense. I mean, obviously these have both been around for 2 years, or this is the second year it's been around, but it's a new look Badgers, and things are experiencing growing pains, but the fans are still bought in. We have a sold-out game once again for a team we've beat 17 times in a row. I don't see a world where we lose, where the Wisconsin Badgers lose today. I think it would take an utter collapse. Mertz, you agree with that?
Absolutely. I mean, and for all those things that we're saying about the way that the season has unfolded, what you saw in the first half last weekend, you can see at least, and I don't even think that's the ceiling. I think that they probably have some more growth beyond that. You saw what this team can do. Mm-hmm. Now, can they string that together for 4 quarters? There's a lot of questions about that, and you think you saw the depth and maybe the lack of high-end talent to compete against playmakers come to bear in the second half. But when you see that, you see the kind of demonstration of play, you know there's something in there, and they just haven't put the pieces together yet. So it's not like this is a utter disarray, lack of talent, a lot of things that you felt with teams, with programs that are just buried underneath, like a Purdue at this point. How do you get out of that? This is more like get the house in order, figure out, get everyone on the same page, and have people playing 4 quarters of football.
I mean, when I look at the Purdue program, I think to myself, boy, it could always get worse. It could always get worse. And, so when it comes to that, there are still some things that I want to see out of this program, right? And I've talked about it a little bit. There are 3 things I want to see, and these are kind of like bare minimum things for a middle-of-the-pack Big Ten program that you'd like to see continue to do well. I want to see one game just wire to wire where they're just dominant, where they're just good. Like, you look at the team from kickoff to zeros in the 4th quarter, you say, you know what? Wisconsin got after it. They were the best team in all phases. They're not going to be perfect, but there's enough to say, you know what? That was a complete game, and that was a convincing win. I don't think I've seen that in the entire Luke Fickell era, but beyond that, I still want to see bowl eligibility, and you got to see the recruits. You don't want to see people starting to decommit. Got to maintain that top 25-ish recruiting class in the next program.
All right, you mentioned a big win, a marquee win, something that you can really hang your hat on, a win that maybe you can take to the bank. I want to get to that next, Brad, but if you're looking for a bank, attention business owners and executives, are you looking for a bank that's invested in your community? Look no further than Starion Bank, your full-service bank that supports local initiatives. Visit a business banker at one of their convenient branches in Middleton, Sun Prairie, or Monona today, or go online at starionbank.com. We're going to have what a convincing win would look like to Brad Nortman up next. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
The countdown to kickoff continues next. You're listening to ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison, home of the Big Win and Madison Casino Guru, is transforming guests into winners. Making an ordinary day into a big win day is easy with a 95% average payout. And with over 140 daily jackpots, the number of people winning has never been bigger. So what are you waiting for? Escape to Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison for your next big win. Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
Liberty Station American Tavern and Smokehouse isn't just a barbecue restaurant. Fish fry, walleye, and vegetarian options are available, and they have a menu that's sure to please everyone. Liberty Station smokes their meats daily with a 1,000-gallon custom smoker, giving you the freshest experience possible. Enjoy happy hour with daily discounts on both food and drinks at their large bar with 20 draft taps and multiple TVs to watch the big game. Be sure to check out their sprawling patio with an indoor and outdoor porch area too. Liberty Station off the Beltline on Rimrock Road.
Your warehouse concrete floors see a lot of traffic. Uneven, sinking, or cracked concrete can pose a serious threat to any business operation. From trip hazards to cracked foundations, sinking concrete can keep any business owner up at night. Concrete Lifting Technologies is here to help. Concrete Lifting Technologies can even out that concrete floor to prevent these hazards. They can level your warehouse floor within a few hours and don't even need to shut down your operations. Visit itaintmudjack.com to get a free quote today. That's itaintmudjack.com.
Metro Ford of Madison is Madison's trusted Ford dealership. Whether you're in the market for a new or new-to-you vehicle, Metro Ford of Madison has the customer service that's second to none. Metro Ford is also the home of the 2 years no-charge maintenance offer on new vehicle purchases, making it the place to go for the new Ford of your dreams. Browse their inventory, schedule a service, or see this month's offers at metrofordofmadison.com. That's metrofordofmadison.com.
GRB Academy is baseball for the serious player. GRB is hosting its annual Top Prospect Camp on Saturday, October 12th for pitchers, catchers, and position players. This annual event has attracted the top talent from across the Midwest for 13 years. This is your chance to showcase your skills in front of the top colleges in the country, and the camp is open to all players in the 2025 through 2028 grad classes. Visit grbacademy.com to register now. Raise baseball. Raise your game.
People across Wisconsin are enjoying the rewards, stability, and flexibility of a career in healthcare. Why not you? Wish Caregiver Careers can get you started as a certified direct care professional. You'll learn the skills you need to make life better for older adults or people with a disability. All training is free and online. Plus, earn $500 in bonuses. Start your new career. Sign up today at wiscaregivercdcp.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Sports fanatics, join the Madison Area Sports Commission live and in person for Good Morning Sports on October 21st. We'll welcome former Green Bay GM and General Counsel Andrew Brandt, who hosts the Business of Sports podcast. It's hosted at the Forward Club in Breeze Stevens Field. Registration donations will benefit the MASC Youth Grant to get kids into sports. Register online at visitmadison.com/goodmorningsports. This event is sponsored by American Family Insurance and Oak Bank, supported by ESPN Madison, and produced by the Madison Area Sports Commission.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
You're listening to Madison's home of baseball's postseason.
Deep to left again. Home run.
100.5 ESPN. Stream the ESPN radio call of every postseason game free on the ESPN app.
It is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, 844-770-3776. We are getting you ready for Wisconsin, Purdue, and you can get ready just like the athletes with Pepsi, the official drink sponsor of, oh my goodness, of the Wisconsin Badgers. They've got everything you need. Pepsis are a great way to mix up your game day beverage. Go to enjoy your Pepsis anywhere you get your beverages. But Brad Nortman, before the break, you mentioned a little bit about what you wanted to see, and that was a decisive, notable, staunch win. What does that look like as the Badgers prepare to take on what is the worst team in the Big Ten?
Yeah, well, to me, it's a few things. First of all, it's with my eyes, right? That's where I kind of begin, is watching a game and saying, Wisconsin, it's not scoring every possession or stopping them every possession, but you know who the better team is on the field, generally speaking. It's either a lopsided team where it's like, oh, Wisconsin's clearly better, or, hey, this is kind of a 50-50 match, which is how Wisconsin has been playing to their lesser opponents, or Wisconsin's outmatched. And I don't think I've seen a full game. Maybe I've seen quarters, maybe I've seen drives, maybe even a half, like at USC, where I'm like, Wisconsin's got this. Like, they look good. They look like the team of old. But I haven't seen it for 4 full quarters. So from the start of the game to the end, Wisconsin controls the tempo. They control the line of scrimmage. They're more aggressive. They're more athletic. They have superior game plans. It's just clearly showing that this is almost like a varsity versus JV match. I want to see that out of the Wisconsin Badgers. That's with my eyes. But from like a from a standpoint of margin of victory, particularly with a team like Purdue, if you play like that against USC, you still might lose, right? They might just have better talent. They might be better than you. But with Purdue, this should really be a double-digit victory. And even like if they play that complete game, they could easily win by 20 or more points. And they could and should win by that much. So for me, it's all that. And then the final point is we're still searching for an identity of this team. In games like that, where you are the dominant team, you are the aggressor, you are in control, you can showcase who you are, right? Because if you want to slow it down, you slow it down. You control the line of scrimmage. You're aggressive. You're physical. If you want to speed it up, you're taking shots. You're moving the ball. You can put who you are on display in those moments because you are in control. If you're not in control, you're responsive to the other team, you're just trying to get onto their level, or you're in a dogfight where it's sort of 50-50. So if you're in control, if you have a superior game plan, if you can just do the things you want to do, which is hard to say. I mean, it's just the Purdue guys also are getting paid via NIL. They also got recruited, and they also have a coaching staff. So it's not easy to do.
Some turnover in that coaching staff.
There is some turnover, especially recently. So for me, it's starting to implement your identity in an environment that you are in control. And I still don't know what that is. So to me, is that just like hammering points? Is that quick drives? Is that like what Bama did to us, where you can score 21 points in a matter of a quarter? Or is that just like surgical, demoralizing drives? I don't know who this Wisconsin Badgers team. On defense, are they opportunistic ball hawks? Are they physical, knock you in the mouth? I don't know who they are. So I want their identity to be on display, and it can only be in display when you are dominating your opponent. So this is a showcase for Luke Fickell and the rest of the squad to do that for me.
All right, Mertz, that's what it looks like for Brad Nortman. What does an absolute demolishing victory look like for the Wisconsin Badgers in your eyes?
Well, I like where Brad was going with control, and it's not even of the, as he mentioned, that everything goes your way the whole time. It's not that. It's that you feel that comfortable and confident in what you're getting done that this is going to grind Purdue down over 4 quarters. So keep plugging away. What I want to see is clean, smart, disciplined football, intentional football. You come in with a game plan that you're able to execute on. You're not making stupid mistakes. You're not making execution mistakes. Like, put a game together where you're actually showcasing the talent that you have. The other thing that I'm thinking about a lot, especially with the Ches Malusi news this week of stepping away from the program, is I feel like there's a little bit of a personnel shuffling that has to happen here on both sides of the ball this week. They've got a lot of guys that have been rotating in at running back. Got a lot of guys been rotating in at linebacker. They've had some emergence of guys on the defensive line, which is really promising because that's been such a weak spot. And that kind of stuff has to shake out pretty quickly here if you're going to get any type of fluidity for the rest of the year, especially on the offensive side of the ball. So I'm waiting to see how those carries are dispersed this week. I'm thinking Tui Walker is your number 1. I'm thinking you're going to see a lot of Darian Dupree as your number 2 back, and Cade will be a change-up. Cade Yakimelli will be a change-up that you throw in, and some Jackson Aker is like a third-down pass protection back. But so everyone will have a little bit better defined roles. Maybe you'll get into a little more rhythm. And just the last point on that, I actually really like what I've seen out of this offensive line this year. And I'm someone who's been ripping on what I've seen the last couple of years, so I want to give credit where credit's due. I thought those guys stepped up a lot. I know that there was some criticism of them in the second half last week. Didn't get the 4th and short, that type of thing. But overall, the body of work, I feel like that's a unit that you can press on a little bit.
All right, let's talk about it. The 4th and 1s. These shotgun 4th and 1s, they're heavily criticized. Barry Alvarez joined the Great Dane Huddle, and he also texted the voice of the game on CBS the other day. And
Powerful.
He just said, you're right. I don't like it. I am upset. I don't like that. Why should the Badgers at this stage say, no, this is who we are. This is our identity. We are going to be this speed, outside power kind of team, or should they get back to the Badgers of old, line up and pound the rock, Brad?
Well, first of all, I couldn't help but laugh when Nestler sort of revealed the text or whatever. It's one of those things where it's like you text a buddy in confidence, and then he brings it up in front of a group of people. You're like, dude, I didn't mean that. That was for your eyes only.
Man.
That's for your eyes only. So I thought that was hilarious. So when I think about these 4th and 1s, 95% of me is frustrated and angry with it. The 5% of me actually gives Longo some credit because, dude, he's just being who he is. He's like, this is the offense I run. We do not take snaps under center. We take them out of shotgun. I don't care what position we are in. That is him trying to put his fingerprints on this offense, right? And he's sticking to it. Now the question is, should he stick to it? So I give him credit for remaining who he is, right? Even if Braden Locke or TVD before he was hurt, if they've never taken a snap, if you don't practice it, that's what everyone's like. Why don't we just put the ball under center and hand the ball off? Well, if you haven't practiced those, if you haven't done a quarterback center exchange all training camp, if you haven't done, these guys might not have done it their entire life. Think about what high school football looks like now. It's all shotgun. We know Braden Locke came from an air raid type system, and so he legitimately might have not put his hands underneath the center with all that discomfort and taking that. And if you don't do that regularly, that bad things happen. You're going to fumble it, right? There's just no comfortable doing that from a center or quarterback type comfort. So if that's the case, last night I'm watching Oregon and I'm watching Michigan State. It was like a 4th and 1, but it was like a pistol type situation where the quarterback was 2 yards instead of the 4 yards. He had a fullback on either side, and he had a running back behind him. And it was a short shotgun snap. He grabbed it. He just literally turned. The running back took the ball with a full head of steam with 2 fullbacks leading in the hole. Now, that looks like power football to me. Power football taken out of a shotgun. So a wrinkle like that, I would look at and say, I got no problems with it, right? It's kind of like a pistol, shotgun type of thing. So I have never heard one running back say, oh, yeah, I prefer getting a handoff from shotgun, right, where it's like I'm standing next to you, and I just hand it off to you and you go. Not one running back I ever talked to prefers that way to go about it. So Luke Fickell is Phil Longo in reality is staying true to himself and his game plan no matter what. And I think there are wrinkles that you need to introduce to actually make it more effective because it's beyond frustrating. Wisconsin Badgers should get 1 yard. You should always be able to get 1 yard if you're the Wisconsin Badgers, and they haven't done it. So I think the criticism is warranted.
Wisconsin Badgers should always be able to get 1 yard.
I don't care if you are an air raid team. You should always be able to get 1 yard if you're the Wisconsin Badgers.
So what's crazy is they're 5 of 8 on 4th down conversions this year. You know what I mean? It's those big ones that stand out to you. Obviously, football's situational.
This year they're 5 of 8.
5 of 8.
What have they done?
Is it this year or is it all time 5 of 8?
I don't know.
But
I'm relying on.
Let's check the stat. I'm going to check the stat
I believe
again.
you, but I'm wondering
but they're 5 of 8.
Are those passing plays that they're getting?
And that's right. And that's so I'm looking at this, and the Alabama game was the frustrating one to me because I thought that they were just too predictable playing against that defensive front, frankly. The USC one, what disturbed me, and you touched on it, is the specific play call of leaving a backside unblocked when you have a slow developing pull over to the right side. I mean, obviously, the running backs are going to get caught up in traffic and someone's going to come from behind. That doesn't make any sense to me. I'm fine. Do I prefer my style to line it up and pound it through? Yes. But if it's done well, if it's executed well, if there's a smart play out of it, if it's a fake, and it's a bootleg. You know, like there's a lot of different stuff you could do. I'd be like, okay, I really like what you did with that play design. I just didn't like the play designs either week.
Mertzy, to confirm, you are correct on the statistic. The Badgers are 5 and 8 on fourth down conversions this year, and their opponents are 4 of 6.
Boy, so we know they're 0 for 2 on the 4th and 1s. Yeah. I would love to know. I mean, this would be something we don't have the ability to necessarily go look at, but so that means they're 5 of 7, or 5 of 6. 5 of 6 when it comes to the other fourth downs outside the 4th and 1s. I'd be curious what the down and distance was, what the play call was. Maybe that's where Phil Longo feels more comfortable. Maybe he doesn't have a whole lot of short yardage running plays where he likes. Because if you're right, if it's play action, if it's boot, if there's options for quarterback run, quarterback dump, like there's so many different ways you can do it. It feels like the 4th and 1s, you know, what make the spread effective running the ball is speed and space. Yeah. And you eliminate that when you bring everybody in. You eliminate the space, and then you have no speed because you bring in all these other heavy blockers. And so it looks more like you should be doing a traditional style offense in that situation.
Well, and against this Purdue team, right, who has terrible gap control, they are awful at tackling in space. This could be the week that you line up like that and just run it outside. Go let Cade Yakimelli, who I'm higher on than you, I think, 7.1 yards per carry, something like that. He's out there, a dynamic playmaker. Let him go get in space and make a guy miss. All right, coming up next, we have the 2 Truths and a Lie brought to you by Celebrations Entertainment, but not before I tell you about our good friends at Jones Dairy. Jones Dairy prides themselves on making the best tasting, high-quality breakfast sausage you can buy. I make a breakfast sandwich with one of these almost every day. They're fantastic. They only use all-natural ingredients right there in Fort Atkinson. To learn more about Jones Dairy Farm's promise, visit jonesdairyfarm.com. Like I said, we've got 2 Truths and a Lie with some random person at the party we've got going on at the Purdue tailgate. Coming up next, it is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
The countdown to kickoff continues next. You're listening to ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Attention, business owners and executives. Looking for a bank that's invested in your community as you are? Look no further than Starion Bank. As a Dane County community bank, Starion offers competitive deposit and loan rates while actively supporting local initiatives. Visit a business banker at one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, and Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, full-service business banking, lending, and cash management.
Pizza Hut just changed the combo game with the new My Hut Box. Get your choice of a 2-topping personal pan pizza, a half melt or a full melt, and your choice of either boneless wings or fries. It's the ultimate solo meal starting at only $6.99. Craving pizza and wings? You got it. Want melts and fries? You got it. Because this meal is all about you. Perfect for a speedy lunch, a relaxing dinner for one, or anytime you're on the go. Head to pizzahut.com to order your My Hut Box today. That's pizzahut.com. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
There's a good chance if you watch sports, you're getting served information about hormone optimization. What does that even mean? Dr. Nestor Rodriguez at Carbon World Health can tell you exactly what hormone optimization means. He will take your blood work and let you know if it's right for you. If you're feeling sluggish, not losing weight like you used to, you're not gaining muscle like you used to, or you just don't feel like yourself in most aspects of your life, go see Dr. Nestor Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. In fact, sign up for the 6-week experience so you can see everything that Carbon World Health has to offer, including hormone optimization. Learn more at carbonworldhealth.com.
I was rolling my rig on a Crescent City run with my hands on the wheel looking into the sun. With a flash, I became temporarily blind by a plate glass truck I was tailing behind. Next thing I know, I'm in the side of a ditch with a bent rear wheel and a broken off hitch. But I was hauling again in just a short while, because Truckstar Collision is on my speed dial. Do you operate a fleet, whether it's heavy-duty 18-wheelers or medium-duty delivery vans? And does vehicle downtime make you cringe? Time is money, and a fleet vehicle on the sideline hurts, because you need your fleet to be up and running 100% of the time. If one of your heavy or medium-duty fleet vehicles is out of commission, Truckstar Collision Center in Deerfield will get it back on the road quickly. Since Truckstar is a full-service facility, the complete repair is done in-house, saving you time and money. And remember, they're able to repair both heavy and medium-duty vehicles. Truckstar Collision Center, minutes off I-94 in Deerfield. Call 888-400-1002 or log on to truckstarcollision.com.
Looking for a health club that truly has something for everyone? Join the largest health club in the state, Prairie Athletic Club. Hi, this is Sarah Tauscher. Find endless ways to stay fit and have fun. From group fitness classes to personal training, indoor and outdoor pools, state-of-the-art equipment, and so much more. Come see what makes the Pack the ultimate destination for all of your fitness needs. Join now and save $50 on your first 3 months. Visit prairieathletic.com today. That's prairieathletic.com. Prairie Athletic Club, family fun community.
The Island invites you to fall into golf with late-season rounds at Sweetgrass or Sage Run. The vibrant fall colors and cooler temperatures make for great days out on the golf course. Fall golf rates run September 16th through the end of the 2024 season, with tee time starting at $75 and stay-and-play packages starting at $110. And submit your 2025 golf package requests early to guarantee choice dates. Plan your fall golf adventure today at islandresortgolf.com.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
From the preps
For the victory! Yes. The DeForest Norskis win it in walk-off fashion.
to the pros.
Swing and a line drive, base hit center field, and the Phillies walk it off.
The biggest games play on 100.5 ESPN. From LA to Piscataway, this is your college football scoreboard update, driven by Metro Ford of Madison.
Good morning, Wisconsin. My name is Riley Yauk, and it's time for your scoreboard update. Obviously, it's 9:37. We don't really have many scores to update you on. However, some games you're going to want to keep an eye on as we move forward throughout this day. To be honest, not the strongest slate compared to weeks prior. However, coming up at 11, same time the Badgers kick off against Purdue. Number 9, Missouri, the Tigers, heading down to Kyle Field to take on 25th ranked Texas A&M, a great matchup in the SEC. Moving on to the Big Ten at 2:30, the Iowa Hawkeyes, one loss on the year for them, heading to the Horseshoe, taking on the 3rd-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes, and one more in the Big Ten for you. This one, sneaky good game. Really recommend keeping your eye on it. Undefeated Rutgers hitting the road, heading to Lincoln, Nebraska to take on Dylan Raiola and Matt Rule's Cornhuskers. That game kicks off at 3. Should be phenomenal. And your college game day game, number 8, Miami, visiting the Golden Bears of California. Should be a great matchup.
Metro Ford of Madison, Madison's trusted Ford dealership. Learn more at metrofordofmadison.com.
ESPN Wisconsin Game Day pregame show. The party rages on as it just gets busier and busier here. We got people of all shapes and sizes partying on, having their Coors Lights and enjoying what is really a lovely day. You just took your sweatshirt off, Adam.
Yeah, it's going to be summertime here in a couple hours, right?
It
80
certainly
degrees.
is. You're revealing the 99 Rose Bowl shirt. I love that.
I went old
Sweet.
school to kind of channel some good mojo
we
for
need
today.
it. We need it.
Alex Gravatt, Adam Mertz, Brad Nortman, who came wearing a T-shirt and shorts despite it being 65 degrees when you got here.
You know, it takes a lot to get me out of shorts and a T-shirt. I'm going to try to soak it in for as long as I can because there's a good chance our next home game at this tailgate, end of October, we're going to be bundled up.
A little bit cooler. I'm doubled up. I've got a long sleeve and a quarter zip. And we have a lovely friend today, Kennedy, who will be our partner.
Hello.
Yeah. So, Kennedy, you are not wearing what we are wearing. You have a hat or a visor.
Yes.
A wig.
A wig. Some bibs.
Some bibs, absolutely. You are decked out. You are a diehard fan?
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
From from a dressing standpoint, I mean, you two are just the best in the house. There's no other way to put it.
I appreciate you. We always go all out.
And the visor is like, it's one of those almost like accounting visors, right? Like,
Yeah.
like
A poker,
a former
like a late night
CPA
poker
myself.
table.
Absolutely.
Like,
Yeah. All right, well, we are playing Two Truths and a Lie, presented by Celebrations Entertainment. Riley, take it away.
Who's telling the truth?
You can't handle the truth.
And who is a dirty, rotten, no-good liar?
You calling me a liar? I ain't calling you a truther.
Two Truths and a Lie on ESPN Wisconsin College Gameday is brought to you by Celebrations Entertainment, the premier entertainment and event services company in southern Wisconsin.
All right, you heard it right there. This is Two Truths and a Lie. We are going to present you with 3 facts. 2 of us are telling you the truth, and 1 of us is telling you the lie, Kennedy. Now, Kennedy, before we get to that, I just want to you are going to be the fan of the game? Is that?
The season ticket holders of the game.
Season ticket holder of the game. So what does that entail? What are you going to be doing for us today?
We get to go out on the field. They're going to show some old pictures of us over the last, 20 years that we've been going, and then we get to hold a giant check and wave to the crowd as they all cheer.
So you've been going to home games for 20 years.
My parents for over 20, but me since I was 6.
Okay, what one home game is your favorite that you've been to?
Home game? I don't know. They're all so good. I used to love watching Monte Ball, though. He was my favorite.
I played with Monte Ball, so
Really?
he's my guy. So you picked a good era. You picked a good era.
Game day host.
Yeah, that's
Monte
right.
Ball.
Absolutely. All right. We're going to get it kicked off. I'm going to tell you, let's go. Mertz, then me, Alex, and then Brad. And you're going to tell us which one of the 3 of us is telling you a lie.
Let's do it.
Okay. Purdue has had a lot of famous graduates. Neil Armstrong, first man on the moon. John Wooden, famous UCLA basketball coach. Jim Gaffigan, comedian. I'm going to give you another name. Orville Redenbacher, the popcorn guy, is a Purdue graduate.
Okay.
Okay. One of the earliest nicknames for the Purdue football team was the Cornfield Sailors. Purdue Boilermakers is their official team name.
Now my turn. The Boilermakers mascot, Purdue Pete, is his name, was based on the American folk legend John Henry.
All right, Kennedy.
Okay. Those are tough. But I'm going to go with the Sailors.
The Sailors was?
Being a lie.
Incorrect, Kennedy. Oh, no. Yeah, they were the Cornfield Sailors, which I guess one might think of a train going through just cornfields, and that could be boat-like, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm glad they changed it.
Feels like a stretch. Do you want to see if you got a 50% chance? Do you want to see who you got?
I'm going to go with the popcorn guy being a lie.
Orville Redenbacher.
No!
Incorrect. You toushed it. Tauscher from Wilde and Tausch loves to get both of the trivia questions wrong. Brad, what was the lie?
The lie was the Purdue Boilermakers mascot, Purdue Pete, was based on the American folk legend John Henry. So that's a lie. Riley, do we know who it is based on?
Yeah, so it was actually just an advertising logo for the university bookstore. I totally made that up. They just adopted a logo the bookstore used at one point, and he became the mascot, Purdue Pete.
Wow. It's kind of a lame story.
Yeah, really lame, actually. I think John Henry would be way cooler if they based it off.
Totally. That's why Kennedy thought it was the truth, because we all want that to be the truth.
Yeah.
Well, I wish we could celebrate with you. Celebrations Entertainment loves to do planning events. It's never been easier. They have a complete event service for weddings, corporate events, nonprofit events, outdoor movies, casino nights, and so much more fun. Visit celebrationsentertainment.com to get started today. Celebrations Entertainment. Fun, memorable events. But unfortunately, we have to tell you, you failed, but you got a great day ahead of you. You're going to the game. You are a season ticket holder. You are the season ticket holder.
Yes, sir.
What are you looking forward to against Purdue?
I am looking forward to finally beating them.
Finally. Okay. For the 18th straight time, we will finally beat them, but it'll be a win. So thanks so much for your time, Kennedy.
Thanks, Kennedy.
Rock and roll.
Kennedy.
Do you guys ever dress up for games before? You had to dress up in full attire.
Yes,
you were playing
yes,
the games, but
yes.
Did you ever do the face paint or wigs or anything?
I've never done anything like that. Even like when I go to a Badger game before or after, like Bucks, Brewers, Packers before I played in the NFL. I just went with like the standard, right? Never a face paint guy. Just like give me a jersey, give me a shirt or a sweatshirt. I'm good to go.
Mertzy, you strike me as a face paint once in your life.
I can't say that I have. I've never put on any face paint. No, think about like the old Seinfeld with David Puddy when he shows up at the Devils game all decked out, and Elaine's like, "What are you doing?" I've not been that guy. Not been that guy.
Have you been that guy?
I have been that guy.
I'm not surprised.
There's a picture of me
at
maybe
all.
in 7th grade coming back from a late game. I went to a late game up in Green Bay. I drove all the way down back to Plymouth, where I'm originally from. It's about an hour and some change in game day traffic, and I had the green on one side, the yellow on one side. My eyes were bloodshot because it was 1 in the morning. I'm strolling in. My mom takes a picture of me. I've got my arms crossed, just kind of like staring at the camera like, I'm too tired for this, Mom. Let me wash the paint up. Canopy Wealth Management carries a long-standing tradition, working in the best interest of their clients every single day. The team at Canopy emphasizes building local relationships and believe that values matter and strength in the community. At Canopy, care, competence, and clarity, it's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. Coming up next, we're going to get you a little closer to game day. It is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
The countdown to kickoff continues next. You're listening to ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Hi, Dave from Canopy Wealth Management here. Our balanced approach helps guide you through a complex and ever-changing landscape. Throughout your family's financial planning journey, we will serve as a partner, advocate, and steward in all aspects to help you achieve your goals with confidence. At Canopy, care, competence, and clarity, it's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
It takes a team to meet just about any goal, and that's as true on the football field as it is in the office. So it's good to know that you have the Gordon Flesch Company on your side. For more than 60 years, GFC has provided cutting-edge office technology for companies of all sizes, and as the nation's largest Canon dealer, GFC delivers the latest office technology, service, and is supported by the most experienced professionals in the industry. That's business technology managed. Visit gflesh.com to learn more.
GRB Academy is baseball for the serious player. GRB is hosting its annual Top Prospect Camp on Saturday, October 12th for pitchers, catchers, and position players. This annual event has attracted the top talent from across the Midwest for 13 years. This is your chance to showcase your skills in front of the top colleges in the country, and the camp is open to all players in the 2025 through 2028 grad classes. Visit grbacademy.com to register now. Raise baseball. Raise your game.
Kyle Walls here from ESPN Wisconsin's Kyle Bruston Nortman, and football season is back, and you know I'm watching every snap with the Underdog Fantasy Sports app in my hand. Making picks on Underdog is straightforward, and signing up is even easier. You make picks for your pick'em entry and choose if a player will go higher or lower when it comes to their stats. Maybe it's Jordan Love higher than 2.5 touchdown passes, or even Tyreek Hill lower than 150 receiving yards. Over 1 million fans got in on the action last season, and it is time for you to jump aboard. Just head over to Underdog's simple-to-use mobile app at UnderdogFantasy.com or sign up using promo code KBN, and Underdog will give you a free pick to use on your first cash pick'em entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. That's Underdog Fantasy promo code KBN to claim your new customer special of a free pick and your deposit offer. Join me this football season and win big. Must be 18 plus and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concern with your play. Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Join in the fun and celebrate the harvest season. Jim Rutledge here, and on Saturday, October 12th, the Bruce Company in Middleton will host their annual Family Fall Festival with a petting zoo, mini pumpkins, face painting, and photo opportunities in front of their festive autumn cabin and giant pumpkin. The Bruce Company transforms into a fall wonderland. Free to all and no registration is necessary. Take the family to the Bruce Company on October 12th from 11 till 2. The Bruce Company in Middleton, and online at brucecompany.com.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
When else can you say, I'm going to have a BLT, but pancakes for the table?
It's only acceptable at brunch. I'm not going to dinner and saying, I'll take the chicken parm with pancakes for the table. Also, it's acceptable to be like, I'll have a mimosa and a coffee and maybe an iced tea. Your beverage options are so superior at brunch.
Unsportsmanlike. Weekdays from 5 to 9 on 100.5 ESPN.
If your child faces an unsafe situation at home, are they prepared? Friday, October 11th from 3:45 to 5:15 p.m., Stoughton Health is hosting the class Safe at Home at the McFarland Municipal Center. For students in grades 4 through 6, students learn to practice safe habits, prevent unsafe situations, how to handle an emergency like a power failure, weather, injuries, and illnesses. Class fee is $25. Financial assistance is available. Visit stoughtonhealth.com to register, then click on Classes and Events.
Like, share, and follow ESPN Medicine everywhere. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok for more great content from ESPN Medicine. This is 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
We've talked about it, right, but we haven't really gotten to it. Badgers leading rusher, Ches Malusi, stepping away from the team indefinitely. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day. I'm Alex Gravatt alongside Brad Nortman and Adam Mertz. We're going to shine some light on it, but you can save money and save the planet by ditching the energy bill and make the switch to Everlight Solar. Shine some light on your house. Your local energy company based in Madison, everlightsolar.com to learn more. And make the switch today. Everlight Solar, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. What's going on? I know that it's injury related, right, Brad? But to step away from the team the same week that Luke Fickell says he wants to make a switch to go a little bit more running back 1, 2, and 3 instead of by committee, there's just a lot going on, and it kind of worries me.
Well, from the outside, it's impossible to tell what the actual truth is. Now, right. Malusi has had enough injuries to where I believe the story, where it's like he's just been so injured. I thought he looked good when he has toted the rock. He looked strong, but there could be a whole lot of things you can do to mask that during 60 minutes of a game. So I believe it is primarily injury-related. Now, this is his last opportunity for college football, right? I mean, he can take a medical red shirt. He played 4 games, so he hasn't exhausted his season completely. He might look at this and say, look, a number of things I don't like that I need to remove myself. One might be my body. Like, I can't possibly have the greatest final season of my career to maybe set me up for the NFL if I can't be myself. So maybe I need to take a full year to get right. Excuse me. I'm fighting off a little bit of a cold, so that's just in the back of the throat right there. So
I thought you were getting emotional about Chad.
Yeah, I know I am. Sunglasses on. So he might say, look, I can't be my best player when I have the health that I am. He also might look at it and say, I can't be my best player in this offense. Like, I don't see this team going anywhere. I don't see this offense going anywhere. So why, again, am I going to back my final opportunity to be a college football player on an offense, a system that I don't believe in, and maybe that doesn't give me the best opportunity to play my best and to be myself. So there's a lot of things I could look at. If I had to put like a pie chart of what I believe, I'd say it's like 85%. He's injured. He wants to be fully healthy. He wants to be able to have his last college season, whether it be to just go out well or go to the NFL, be the optimal physical version of himself when he's not there. So might as well take a year and do it next year. And I think 15% of it is like, this is not what I signed up for when I transferred here. I thought we were going to be a lot better, and I thought that it was going to be a whole lot more high octane.
Yeah, Mertz, Malusi has not looked quite himself, right? Coming back, he's had some real bad injuries. It's been nonstop, which means training and growing. This is still, his body is still changing. He's still a kid, right? And so to see him step away at this stage, do you think that's good for him long term? Do you think that's good for the team long term?
As we talked about in that first segment about, this is the time, this is the day and age in college football where you really have to look out for yourself and do what's right for yourself. So if that was purely his decision, I don't have a problem with it. If he's recognizing he's not where he's at, I think he's run hard when he's been in there. I guess maybe he hasn't had enough space to be explosive. He had the one big gain against Alabama, but I don't know. It's hard to tell where he's at physically. Yeah. And as Brad said, as a running back, I mean, you're just taking pounding all the time, and you can heal that in a number of ways, some of them pharmaceutical. But my question on all this is the sequence of how this went down.
Yeah. Of
Fickle talking on Monday about paring down the running back rotation, and then it comes out, whatever it was, Wednesday, midweek, Thursday, about Chez. And I'm curious about whether that was on Chez's mind before all this, or there was a conversation about where Chez was going to rank in that rotation, and that prompted this decision, and that's where my mind goes. I kind of think that's how most of these conversations happen, and I don't – if Fickle is that direct about it, I would probably give him credit for that too, of just having a hard conversation and saying, like, hey, man, I'm not seeing you as our number one back anymore. Not running him. That's a whole nother level.
Yeah.
And I will say they're opening themselves up to a lot of questions about that since Chez isn't talking, and Chez is a talker. And I'm really kind of like, I don't know how to sort through this right now. I hope that this turns out the best for him, because I think he's done a lot of really good things for this program.
He's been fantastic. He's looked really good, and this season hasn't been quite up to snuff. The Badgers, or the Purdue Boilermakers, they give up more explosive runs than any other team in the Big Ten, right? They just bleed yardage in explosive plays, and that's something that we would usually expect to see Chez really excel in. He's so dynamic, but this year I look at it and I feel better about Cade and Tywee, and I see a place for them to get ready. Now, as they prepare for the game, and you can prepare for the game with Pepsi, a proud partner of Wisconsin Badgers, Wisconsin football players like Hunter Wooler and formerly Chez Malusi get game day ready with Pepsi, and you should too. Try Pepsi Zero Sugar, the perfect drink for your tailgate party, and it's a tasty mixer. But as they prepare for this, who do you think is going to take over, Brad, as the number one running back in this backfield?
Well, I really like what I've seen out of Tywee Walker. He has a burst. He runs physical. He looks like the kind of back that traditionally would be at Wisconsin. So I think Tywee Walker will take the bulk of the carries. And, I like the idea of having a number one running back and giving the bulk of those carries to Walker. But you also got to have some depth. You got to make sure that other guys get touches too, for a lot of different reasons, for development and for sharing the load. So when it be Walker, probably I think I'm right there with you, Mertz. I think it's going to be Walker primarily, a little bit of Dupree, a little bit of Yakimelli as a changeup. I think that's actually a pretty winning formula. And the way that this offensive line is blocking, I think that it will actually allow for those guys to have some success. Now, the final piece of the puzzle is, can you throw the ball? Like, can you actively throw the ball? Because until you've proven that you can do that consistently and not at a legitimately 50% completion percentage, which is just on brand and on par for Braden Locke, you're going to have guys creep down. It's going to just constrict everything in the box. So, look, Chez Malusi, if you would have told me week one, Chez Malusi is going to only play 4 games and bow out, I'd be concerned. I'm still a little concerned, but after seeing especially Walker, I think there's enough guys that you can still be competitive, right? You can still be good. You can still do all the things that you want to do this year, like become bowl eligible and put together a complete game and continue to reinforce whatever identity you want. So I'm not overly concerned. I think they got enough horses in the stable. The problem is, though, they can't really sustain any other issues. If Tywee Walker, knock on wood, were to get injured, then you're really depleted. You need him now to be the guy for 8 straight games.
Who do you think the horse is in this race, Mertzy?
Yeah, I'm right with you. It's Tyree Walker, but it's interesting. He's carried the ball 20 times twice in college at Oklahoma, and he had good performance there. It was good, good overall yards as well into the hundreds, good yard per carry, but he just hasn't had that kind of experience. So this is going to be a new situation for him. That's it looks to me like he's up for it. But to your point, this does not feel like last year when Ches went down and Braylon went down. You're like, there is nothing for the Badgers to run on. It's not like that, but you're right. Your margin gets a little slimmer.
Yep. There's a lot to be excited about. Dupree's looked good, and like I said, I'm a Yaconelli guy. I don't know if he's got the ability to tote the rock 20 times, but to be a change of pace back, I love what he brings to the team. All right, I want to take a step back. We're going to take a break here, but I want to take a step back and take a look at things from a little bit of a larger standpoint, in a full season standpoint. But introducing Pizza Hut's new tavern-style pizza, an upgrade to their classic crispy, thin crust. Cut into 16 snackable squares and loaded to the edge. It's perfect for sharing during the big game. Find the nearest location and order now online at pizzahut.com. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Gameday pregame.
The countdown to kickoff continues next. You're listening to ESPN Wisconsin College Gameday.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
The Jones family has its rules, just like any other family. Only difference is, ours are about making the best tasting, highest quality breakfast sausage you can buy. One of our rules, we only use all natural ingredients. It's a mandate we've followed since the 1840s, and we'll continue to do so for generations to come. Right here in Fort Atkinson. I'm Philip Jones. To learn more about the rules that make sure my family provides your family with the best tasting, highest quality breakfast sausage, visit jonesdairyfarm.com.
To those who've ever dreamt of their perfect event, those dreams are worthy and they are possible. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With hard work, passion, and great music, we will make your event dreams a reality. Every event is a labor of love with one-on-one planning, customization, and flawless execution. Bringing your event to life is what we do. For a fun, memorable event, visit celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Forward Madison FC's professional soccer season is underway, and they want you to pack out Breeze Stevens Field. Need a night out with the whole family? Try the Forward Madison Family Special presented by MG&E. Score a ticket to the match, a meal, and an FMFC scarf, all for just $25 per person. Visit forwardmadisonfc.com to purchase your tickets today. That's forwardmadisonfc.com. Forward Madison, fun for all.
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison, home of the Big Win and Madison Casino Guru, is transforming guests into winners. Making an ordinary day into a big win day is easy with a 95% average payout. And with over 140 daily jackpots, the number of people winning has never been bigger. So what are you waiting for? Escape to Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison for your next big win.
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
Liberty Station American Tavern and Smokehouse isn't just a barbecue restaurant. Fish fry, walleye, and vegetarian options are available, and they have a menu that's sure to please everyone. Liberty Station smokes their meats daily with a 1,000-gallon custom smoker, giving you the freshest experience possible. Enjoy happy hour with daily discounts on both food and drinks at their large bar with 20 draft taps and multiple TVs to watch the big game. Be sure to check out their sprawling patio with an indoor and outdoor porch area too. Liberty Station off the Beltline on Rimrock Road.
When severe weather hits and the power goes out, do you have a plan? For reliable power and peace of mind, propane can do that. It only takes about 10 seconds for a propane-powered generator to restore power to your home. So no matter what Mother Nature has in store, you know you're prepared. Learn more at wipga.org. This message is sponsored by your local propane provider and the Wisconsin Propane Education and Research Council.
Hi, this is Dave Kane. You're listening to Madison's Home of the Bucks, a good Karma brand radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Grab a red shirt, flash your W's. It's game day, Wisconsin.
David Gilreath from the 3. 25, 30, 35, explodes midfield. A chance to return the opening kickoff for 6. He'll take it to the house.
It's blocked unbelievably. Wisconsin with a chance to pounce. Touchdown Badgers. Unbelievable. Simply shocking. Steinfeld. Touchdown.
Taylor slips through an opening, and Taylor into the secondary. Jonathan Taylor. Can he take it the distance? He can. Touchdown Badgers.
Live from the best college football town in the world, this is ESPN Wisconsin College Gameday.
ESPN Wisconsin College Gameday rolls on, presented by Coors Light. ESPN Wisconsin Gameday is presented by Coors Light. When you need refreshment on game day, choose the beer that is cold as the Rockies. Cold filtered, cold lagered, cold packaged for peak refreshment. Jim Rutledge, when the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
I've got the power today. Jim Rutledge from Jim, Matt, and Molly joins the show. He usually is the one telling us when to say crush a Coors Light, but today I've got the power. Alex Gravatt alongside Brad Nortman and Adam Mertz, and we are joined by Jim Rutledge. Like I said before the break, I wanted to take a step back and look at this game in a holistic sense. Jim, how important is this game for the Badgers? It seems like it should be a cakewalk, but is it perhaps more than that?
Well, it's two different things. So it is incredibly important. And Brad talked about this with me on the Jump Around, which is available Wisconsin On Demand, Apple, Spotify, and it's a great place. It's Thursdays at 12:30 on ESPN Wisconsin's YouTube and Facebook and all of that. And Brad, you mentioned that this is a game where it's about vibes. Like, yes, you need to win it, but if you win it handedly, then it's a game where you feel like we got a chance versus Rutgers. There's a little bit of buzz back in this program because realistically, 2-2 after playing USC and Alabama and playing two fantastic halves against those teams was almost like a teaser. It's like, oh, we could have, but we didn't have the bodies to finish it. So it all depends on the narrative you want to write. If they go out there, and I'll tell you this, if they play against Purdue like they did against USC, we'll kick the snot out of Purdue, and then we're going to feel very good going into Rutgers saying, hey, this Badger program isn't good enough to be elite yet, but this Badger program's on the right track. And so, that's why this game is important. You got to win it no matter what, but I think vibes is a major part of this.
Mertz, do you think that, we heard Jim mention his relationship with Brad, and they've got this show. We heard essentially Jim just reiterate Brad's point. What do you think? How important is this game in the culture of the season?
Oh, I mean, it's huge. It's absolutely huge. I know we keep, you want to say the game of the century for good games. This is a massive game for Luke Fickell in his tenure. They need to win this, and they need to look good. This program is it's in the doldrums. It's not at a standstill, but it's in the doldrums right now, and people are really antsy and really anxious. And they're not going to come for him first. They'll come for the coordinators. But once that starts happening, it gets really ugly really fast. So they need to come out and look like a team that's organized and look like the team that has promise. If they just skate by today, it's not the end of the world. but you haven't opened anyone's eyes. You haven't gotten anyone's attention, and that's a huge miss in a season where you don't have these other opportunities like that.
And Brad, I want to get your thoughts on this, but we talked about this a little bit as well, and I've talked to people in the crowd. I think we all agree that Braden Locke ain't it for the long term. So this isn't –
Yep.
How they win is interesting. Let's say they go out and they win, let's say 24-10, and they cover. The running game looks great. Maybe Darian Dupree has a breakout game. We'll get into Ches Malusi, I'm sure, with me in a minute. But let's say Braden Locke looks pedestrian. And let's say they grind out another one that's pedestrian against Rutgers. Well, now you set up where maybe Vitoya could come in and play, or at least get some snaps. He's got 4 games he can play without even burning a red shirt. But realistically, guys, who cares about a red shirt? That doesn't even matter anymore. Who's playing 5 years at a school?
Right.
And if Vitoya is good enough, he's going to go pro or leave for more money. So just take the players and play them when you got a chance. The red shirt is honestly, at this point, rendered pointless, because if you're good enough to play, just play them.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you, Jim. And that's what makes evaluating the air raid hard, right? Because even last year, all this fanfare about what it's going to look like, and you get Mordecai from SMU. Well, he gets hurt like a third of the way through the season, so whatever momentum they had, that stopped in its place. Braden Locke comes in. They're trying to recreate rhythm and flow. And then Mordecai comes back. It's just, and then this year with Tyler Van Dyke, the minute you feel like you get things going, he's out for the season. Here comes Braden Locke. So it's been very disjointed. So you look at this and say, how can we evaluate this offense that is more than any other offense dependent on quarterback play? So when it comes to evaluating this team, you do need to handicap it a little bit, thinking about Braden Locke. I still think this team has every opportunity to go and make this a big win, right? Because when you look at, I see this from 2 angles. One is like a floor, right? There has been an artificial floor that the Wisconsin Badgers program has created. It's basically been, we're going to become bowl eligible, and we're not the bottom of the Big Ten. At a bare minimum, in our worst seasons, we're like in the middle, maybe a little bit below, maybe a little bit above. But to maintain that floor and not have it come crashing down is winning a game like this and winning it pretty convincingly. And you're going to have more opportunities like that the rest of the month of October outside the game against Penn State. So one of it is, okay, we just got to maintain who we are as a program to not crash through that floor. And the other part is what we talked about, Jim, momentum and vibes, to actually give yourself a little bit of external validation that, yes, we are a team. These guys are competitors. They believe in themselves. But you need some success. You need some success to reiterate that to yourself. That, you know what? We just went out. We beat another Big Ten team. We beat them from start to finish. We got this. So we can go to Rutgers and feel good about our chances.
And speaking of vibes, though, to put the cart incredibly in front of the horse, if they do win these, now we're having a different discussion about Penn State. Oregon's a different beast. But, if they win these.
They're 6 and 7 in the country. They're right next to each other.
Right. But Oregon athletically is a different beast than Penn State.
Yeah.
And if the Badgers, Brad, you can speak to this. Let's say they win these 3s, and I'm getting way in front of it. We're super happy and in a good mood
today should be a win.
Yeah, yes, it should be. But let's say they win the next 3. Now Penn State's lingering, and you have games before that. But the team can believe. Then they can tell themselves, you know what, we should have beaten USC. Halftime should have been 14-6. It wasn't against Alabama.
Yeah.
So that's what you start telling yourself of we can do, we can win. And then we won these 3 games. And maybe we win them convincingly, maybe we don't. But now we're a winning program. So, Brad, I think that, wins can stack and then build confidence and then believe. Have they had a 3-game winning streak under Luke Fickell? And this is very much projection, but it's not incredibly insane to say they could win 3 in a row.
Yeah, I don't think they've had a 3-game winning streak, and they certainly haven't had a 3-game winning streak. Even if they have, I don't believe they have. And even the games that they've won, you're still waiting for that signature win. We got to remember, too, these feel like professional athletes in the NIL era. They are kids, right? They're 18 to 22-year-olds, and therefore emotions and belief. It plays a bigger role than it does in the NFL. In the NFL, it's very much any given week, and you go out there and you play. But you let these guys have phones. They have social media. They think about this. These are kids. And so results-oriented, viewpoints, whether you like it or not. It creates a world of I either believe in this team, I believe in myself, we can go out and beat teams like Penn State, or if you can't even beat the bottom of the Big Ten, how are you going to have any confidence, and how are you going to convince people of your vision here at Wisconsin for the future?
Brett, I think the one thing that came to mind when you were reciting all that, too, is like these guys are going to class every day with people.
Yeah.
In the NFL, you can be kind of in a bubble. You can drive to the practice complex. You have the security guard wave you in, go in, take care of your business. These guys have to interact with people and have a rep on campus and have people either look at you like, damn, you guys are awesome, I love the role you're on, or like, you guys suck.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a vibe on campus that way, if you can steal your word, Jim.
Well, and as someone who's experienced that, like my freshman year, like we had these high expectations and we came crashing down to a 7-6 season. There was very much like our football team stinks, and we didn't even stink that bad.
Right.
But then when you are vibing, right, when you're beating, when you're winning the Big Ten, man, you big man on campus. There's a reason why that's a phrase, because you feel like the football team, or when it's the basketball team, or insert sport, when they're having success, you feel good. You cannot wait to play on Saturday. You can't wait. You can't wait to go to practice. You can't wait to watch film. Everything feels a little bit bigger and better, and you feel those confidence vibes rolling.
Yeah, Brad, I feel like when the team's 7-6, you're like, yeah, those guys stink. But then when the team's good, you're like, I'm the punter on that team.
Yeah,
big man on campus, Brad Nortman.
But that matters. Like, it does matter. And then you do feel better, but then you can practice harder, you practice crisper, and you believe into what the coaching staff is telling you.
Yeah.
All right, when we're talking about one more question before we let you go, Jim. We're talking about the biggest athletes, the biggest names, right? Maybe the biggest name of this Wisconsin program, Chez Mellusi, has stepped away from Wisconsin football. What do you make of that?
First, it's sad. I don't think there's anything about NAL or any. Like, I know there was rumors in that, and Colton Bartholomew kind of went out of his way from the Scott State Journal to say like that stuff is ridiculous and inflammatory and rude. The Chez Mellusi is beat up. Could there be something where it does time with the coaching staff saying like we're going to play Yakimelli, Dupree, and Walker more, and so maybe there could be a little bit there where Chez is saying we saw it. He doesn't have the burst he had a couple years ago, unfortunately. The injuries have worn him out. So it could be, and Brad, you can talk about this more, but like it's a grind. And he might just say, you know what, I'm hurt, and now I'm not going to get a lot of opportunities, and I'm just exhausted mentally and physically, and I want to step away. For the program, and I want to be fair on this, like Chez, by all accounts, is a great leader and is a capable running back. But for the program, it could allow some younger guys to get opportunities and get carries. But I still think, and I hope he's around the program. I don't know how that's all going to break out. But I do think it's a loss from like a leadership side of things. But I do think that this is truly face value. The only underlying part of it might have been he might get less opportunities, and the grind for less opportunities might just not have been worth it for him anymore.
Yeah, think about being in pain all the time.
Yeah.
Think about that. Like, and then to go out weekly and go elevate that pain, right? So, like, what these guys go through is legitimate, and when you make decisions about your body, they're hard decisions. So, to me, I'll be curious if he tries to transfer, play anywhere additionally, because the way I view it is he's clearly not healthy to his standard, whether that be to play the game of football at all or to put on tape and showcase his skills for maybe what might be the next level, or just one final great college football season.
Brad, Adam, real quick before you, I just think he's also the poster child why NIL works. Like, this man has given his body, and yes, he is a youngster, but like any money that he got from this, he's earned tenfold.
Yeah.
And he's going to have to deal with these physical ailments, and he gave his body for the Badgers and Clemson some as well. So like, he's why the NIL needs to exist. We need to fine tune it. But he's why it needs to exist.
For the rest of his life, he's going to be dealing with it. Jim, is it a miss from a PR standpoint that he isn't speaking in a situation like this where there seems to be like this veneer over this program where you're not really always totally understanding what's going on, and for a team leader to make a decision that momentous and to not have him be the one delivering it?
I think in today's
face-to-face,
you and I
are we just old? Is that what you're saying?
But I feel it too. But we're I see this morning the player they're trying to move reporters out of the locker room in the NFL, and these players have more agency in their social media, and it's not just this program; it's every program is veiled, and they don't want to have these players speak and be out there. And again, it's kind of like Braylon Allen with his cryptic responses, and he's added more. of when you're not clear and you're not answering some questions. To your point, Ches and the Badgers would have been better served to have Ches go out there and answer questions. But maybe it's too emotional for him. Maybe it's too hard for him at the moment. So maybe that's the reason why. But, yes, in the end, he would have been better served to answer those questions, just like Braylon Allen would have been better served just to say what's on his damn mind instead of these cryptic posts.
Yeah. Hey, look at the power of a clip like Yelich and Uke the other night, though. If Ches comes out there and shows that emotion, doesn't that endear people to him more? Doesn't that endear people to the program more that he's willing to give like that? That's 100%. Where I just feel like this was not handled well.
I agree. I think Yelich is 34 and Ches is at the most 24.
Yeah.
And it could just be he's not comfortable being that emotional in front of people, and maybe he couldn't do it.
Yep.
I agree, but you're right. In a perfect world, he should be out speaking to the media, and maybe they bring him out later and they just wanted to get in front of it before stuff comes out and it gets like a little nefarious. But you're right. That's the best way to handle it, but it's a lot to ask of a young man whose career might be over.
All right, Jim Rutledge. Before we let you go, what is your final prediction for this game?
I can't remember what I put in our post on social media, but my main point of it is the Badgers are going to cover. I'll go with like that 24-10. I think the line is 13.5, so 24-10 gets them there.
12.5 as of this morning.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be no passing touchdowns. I think it's going to be running touchdowns and maybe a defensive one.
Absolutely. That was Jim Rutledge from Jim, Matt, and Molly. Don't let your sidewalks or driveways get flagged for unnecessary roughness. Let concrete lifting technologies level your uneven cracked pavement and save the work of replacing it. Raise your game and your concrete. Visit itaintmudjack.com to get a free quote today. That's itaintmudjack.com. All right, this is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day on 100.5 ESPN Wisconsin.
The countdown to kickoff continues next. You're listening to ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Metro Ford Madison is Madison's trusted Ford dealership. Whether you're in the market for a new or new-to-you vehicle, Metro Ford of Madison has the customer service that's second to none. Metro Ford is also the home of the 2 years no-charge maintenance offer on new vehicle purchases, making it the place to go for the new Ford of your dreams. Browse their inventory, schedule a service, or see this month's offers at metrofordofmadison.com. That's metrofordofmadison.com.
Brian here from Canopy Wealth Management. At Canopy, we create strategies that are tailored to your needs and goals. We've invested heavily in client-friendly software so your assets and plan progress are available to view in one place at any time. Whether you prefer only the high-level information or enjoy the intricate details of the planning process, we've got you covered. Canopy Wealth Management. Care, competence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Forward Madison FC's professional soccer season is underway, and they want you to pack out Bree Stevens Field. Need a night out with the whole family? Try the Forward Madison Family Special presented by MG&E. Score a ticket to the match, a meal, and an FMFC scarf, all for just $25 per person. Visit forwardmadisonfc.com to purchase your tickets today. That's forwardmadisonfc.com. Forward Madison, fun for all.
Hey friend, ready for a sweet trip down memory lane? Head to the bake sale at Quick Trip. Craving those fresh, oven-baked cookies like Grandma used to make? The Quickery's got them. Baked with love and a touch of that old-fashioned goodness. In a rush? Grab a muffin for just $1.19. A perfect on-the-go treat. From glazers to cake donuts. Indulge at the bake sale. So what are you waiting for? Treat yourself. Only at Quick Trip.
Nothing makes being outdoors better than having the right gear and the right crew. So here's an idea. Let Mountain Dew supply the gear and you bring the friends. Because when you buy specially marked multi-packs of Mountain Dew, you can collect points and earn epic limited edition outdoor gear. We're talking everything from custom Mountain Dew camp chairs and backpack coolers to exclusive Mountain Dew tents, fishing boats, and more. So buy Dew, collect points, get gear, and get outside with Mountain Dew outdoor gear.
Open to legal U.S. residents 18+, subject to program terms at dewoutdoors.com and 12/31/24, void or prohibited.
Join in the fun and celebrate the harvest season. Jim Rutledge here, and on Saturday, October 12th, the Bruce Company in Middleton will host their annual Family Fall Festival with a petting zoo, mini pumpkins, face painting, and photo opportunities in front of their festive autumn cabin and giant pumpkin. The Bruce Company transforms into a fall wonderland. Free to all and no registration is necessary. Take the family to the Bruce Company on October 12th from 11 till 2. The Bruce Company in Middleton and online at brucecompany.com.
Greg Scalzo here for Buckin' Honeys. Congratulations to the perennial Best of Madison Award winner by the folks at Madison Magazine. Meet me at Buckin' Honeys to celebrate Wisconsin hospitality. Whether you're enjoying the view on the Yahara River in Monona, exploring Wanakee, visiting the OG in Sun Prairie, or checking out the new location in Mount Horeb, you can enjoy the Buckin' Honeys experience in a neighborhood near you. Serving lunch and dinner 7 days a week with brunch every Saturday and Sunday. I'll see you at Buckin' Honeys.
So what's better than a Packers win? Celebrating a Packers win behind the wheel of a newly redesigned 2024 Chevy Traverse C71. Yeah, that's better. And right now at Quick Trip, for every dollar you spend with Quick Rewards, you'll earn a Fan Zone point to spend in the Packers Zone. Then with your Quick Rewards app, spend points for your chance to win prizes throughout the season, like a Chevy Traverse C71. Kick off your winning season with Quick Trip and your Green Bay Packers. See quicktrip.com/fanzone for details.
Hey, this is John Audius, Wisconsin Badgers volleyball play-by-play broadcaster. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand, Madison's new home for Wisconsin Badgers volleyball.
Morning was the earliest I've ever had mac and cheese in my life. Brad Nortman pounding some between the segments of the show. It's Liberty Station everywhere here. Our friends at Liberty Station running a game day shuttle program, dining during home games this football season for just $15. Get a Coors Light and a round trip to Camp Randall. It all starts at Liberty Station American Tavern and Smokehouse, located off the Beltline on Rimrock Road. And Brad Nortman, you're enjoying some right now.
Oh, boy. I mean, I can't get enough. There might be seconds in my future. Liberty Station, baby. So good.
Absolutely. All right. Well, without any further ado, it is time for Good Call, Bad Call.
Is it a good call?
Because I love it.
Or a bad call?
You're the dumbest person alive.
Good Call, Bad Call on ESPN Wisconsin College Gameday is brought to you by Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew. Always a good call on game day.
All right, fellas.
Hi, Riley.
Hi, G.
I feel like we've hardly talked to you today.
You know, I'm just letting you guys do it. You guys have had some great discourse today. Oh, I do have another little fact check for you guys. Luke Fickell has had one 3-game winning streak in his time here at Wisconsin. So,
do you know who they were over?
Yes, it was Georgia Southern, the Purdue Boilermakers, and the Rutgers Scarlet Knights.
All right. Do you think today you feeling good?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I think the Badgers going to handle business. I think Purdue is probably going to show them some adversity early on. I think Purdue sees a wounded animal in this Wisconsin program, probably their best chance to get a win over the Badgers in like 17-plus years. So I think Purdue's going to come out swinging, but if the Badgers respond well like they did early against USC last week, I think they roll and handle business. So those are my thoughts on the game, but good call, bad call. Wisconsin will have at least one 100-yard rusher today. Yes or no?
Yeah, good call. And I will say that his name will be Tubby Walker. That would be my prediction.
He's the one.
He's the one. He's the one. He's the new one. He's the new man. He's going to pick up his 100. He had, as we talked earlier in the first hour, he's had 2 times where he's carried the rock 20-plus. I think it was 118 and 159 were his yard totals. He's capable. He's ready. This team wants to pounce. It's going to happen.
It's a great call. It's absolutely a fantastic call. The Badgers are going to have 250 yards on the ground today, I think, total. So I'm all about it. I think it's going to be just the Purdue Boilermakers have no tackling in the secondary. They've got no one sealing the edge, so people are just running. If we use the speed that we have in the running back room, whoever is hot, it doesn't matter. They're getting a ton of yardage. I'm not going to say it's Tyree Walker for sure, though it almost certainly is. I think Cade Giacomelli is going to end up with like 70 yards on 8 carries or something. it's gonna be a rough day for the Purdue Boilermakers running.
I was
defense.
counting on a Cade Yaconelli reference.
Absolutely.
Yak for Heisman.
Yeah, it's a great call. It's going to happen. If it doesn't happen this game, it ain't going to happen all season. So primed for a big rusher, Wisconsin versus Purdue. I think they go well over 100 yards. At least one rusher, maybe two.
Listen, I can't spell. I'm going to say Yaconelli starts with YAC, yards after contact. Woo! He's going to go wild today.
Nice.
Good to hear. All right, this one's a little more out there. You guys are confident in the running game. What about the passing game? Braden Locke will throw for over 300 yards today. Yes or no?
This is a bad call for me. I don't see a lot of game plans where Braden Locke is throwing for over 300 yards. I don't think this game will call for it. I think Wisconsin's going to get up to a lead, and they're just going to continue to run the ball, run the clock out to protect that lead, and keep the defense off the field, unlike what they did against the USC Trojans. So I don't see it. I think he's under 300 yards, partially because of he's just an okay quarterback, but more because of the game plan and how the game flow will go today.
How many pass attempts would he need to throw
Dang it,
at 50% to get to 300 yards? No, I don't think he's going to get there. I love it. If for some reason Purdue, after firing their OC, is fired up and they're ready under their new offensive leadership and they go out there and they just go berserk, yes, they also they removed their lead cornerback, Purdue did, so there's really no one covering these wide receivers. I still don't see a world where he gets close to 300 today.
Yeah, Markevius Brown just missed from the Purdue team, top cornerback. So, that's one thing you could see. You could see taking some shots at the backup and just test him out a little bit. But I was doing the quick math. If you're talking 10 yards of completion, which is kind of seems like where he's at, and 50% completion rate, he'd have to go 30 of 60. He'd have to go 30 of 60 to do this.
Oh, my goodness. No, yeah.
Just got to believe, Mertzy.
All right, what's next?
Alrighty, this storyline unfortunately was kind of ruined yesterday as UNLV fell to Syracuse in overtime 44-41. However, let's just say they win out the rest of the year. Is UNLV the best story in college football if they keep winning with their backup quarterback after the whole NIL controversy with their starter?
I'm going to go bad call. Even if that happens, I just hate the fact that any sort of best story in college football would revolve around NIL. Can't do it, won't go there. So I think it's an interesting wrinkle. I think it has a lot of implications on college football, but best story of the year, I don't think so. I still think what Travis Hunter is doing at receiver and cornerback is one of the best stories of the last 2 years. So I hope it's more nuanced than just an NIL type storyline.
I don't know if it's the best, but it might be the most compelling. I don't want to follow it. I don't want to be all bought in on this, but if they can do it, then we have to reevaluate the way that we look at NIL, right? Yes, you need to have these guys, but building depth and developing talent it's a reminder that that's really what's the most important. Yes, Ches Malusi's injuries and the situation around him is a perfect reason why we need to have some NIL. These players need to be compensated for the rigor that they're putting their bodies through, because it is a brutal thing, but it can't be the only reason we're at college football. It can't be the only reason that any team is really good. So if they continue to win, obviously, aside from this loss, which was a barn burner, right? He still put up 41 points. I'm bought in that this could still take over what we look at this season as from a larger perspective.
So I'll start with UNLV. I think they're going to lose in 3 weeks to Boise State, and that's where I think one of the great stories is Ashton Johnson and what he's been able to do. The 6 TD game with keeping Boise in the game against Oregon and really just losing on special teams. That's a really impressive story, and those guys got a really good shot at getting into the playoff. No home game on the blue turf, unfortunately, but some appearance there. The story that I'm following, I think Travis Hunter's a great one. The one that blows my mind is still Ryan Williams, 17 years old at Alabama, 100%. And Jeremiah Smith, I think he's still 17 also at Ohio State. Unreal. These two guys are men among boys, and unfortunately I had to watch Ryan take one to the house against UGA last Saturday night in that epic game, but it's amazing what they're doing, and I'm curious to see how hard those guys can push the NFL on the 3-year rule.
Ooh, spicy.
All right, we got
Mertz
time for
coming
one
with the
more
heat.
quick one. One more quick one.
Last, but certainly not least, the bull streak is over if the Badgers inexplicably lose to Purdue today.
Yes.
Yep. Jinx. Yep, it is for sure. Great call. Got to win it. Got to win it for the bull streak. I don't see them winning 4 games. 1, indicating the talent of this team, but 2, it's just a rigorous schedule to actually go get 4 wins.
And the confidence level that you'll have if you drop this one today. I know the analytics say it's just this one in Northwestern with like 45% against Minnesota. That's all a lagging indicator. Those numbers will go way down if there's a loss to Purdue today.
All right, if they lose today, they're going to need all those players go to Carbon World Health for their complete solution for fitness, health, and beauty, because it's going to be a butt whooping if they lose. Their cutting-edge science and impeccable service is unlike anything you've ever experienced. Redefine limitation with their state-of-the-art facility and med spa. Visit CarbonWorldHealth.com for more information. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
The countdown to kickoff continues next. You're listening to ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Your warehouse concrete floors see a lot of traffic. Uneven, sinking, or cracked concrete can pose a serious threat to any business operation. From trip hazards to cracked foundations, sinking concrete can keep any business owner up at night. Concrete Lifting Technologies is here to help. Concrete Lifting Technologies can even out that concrete floor to prevent these hazards. They can level your warehouse floor within a few hours and don't even need to shut down your operations. Visit itaintmudjack.com to get a free quote today. That's itaintmudjack.com.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
Come see what the buzz is all about at Madison Axe, Madison's state-of-the-art entertainment spot. Enjoy 8 lanes of axe throwing, craft beer, interactive games, plus digital target projection and scoring. For even more fun, check out their indoor backyard with 2,000 square feet of shuffleboard, cornhole, yard games, bar table games, and more. Perfect for date night, groups, corporate meetings, or private events. Madison Axe is your destination for all things fun. Throw it, nail it, celebrate. Go to MadisonAxe.com or head to their location on Stoughton Road today.
Do you have students in grades 6 through 8 ready to babysit? Stoughton Health's Safe Sitter course is Saturday, October 12th from 9 a.m. to 2:45 p.m. at McFarland Municipal Center. The Safe Sitter course teaches students life-saving skills, understanding how to handle emergencies and treat injuries, from watching younger siblings to babysitting to just being home alone. Give your students these valuable skills. Class fee is $50. Financial assistance is available. Visit StoughtonHealth.com to register, then click on Classes and Events.
James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Josh Gavel is the service manager with Kirsch Appliance. Josh, your company acquired document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Why?
I think at the time we had an older printer and just things come up when you get older equipment.
Yeah, things like your older printer that didn't always work when you clicked print. And now with a new printer and service from James Imaging Systems,
things happen, they can come out and fix it and leave us to what we're needing to do.
James Imaging Systems, helping local Wisconsin businesses move forward with less stress, more peace of mind.
You get somebody that knows what they're doing, come in here and get it done in 5 minutes, and we're not having to take our time to do it.
Josh, your advice for local businesses?
I'd recommend James Imaging.
For less stress and more peace of mind, make the switch to document imaging technology from James Imaging Systems. Call 608-221-3457. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Forward Madison FC's professional soccer season is underway, and they want you to pack out Breeze Stevens Field. Need a night out with the whole family? Try the Forward Madison Family Special presented by MG&E. Score a ticket to the match, a meal, and an FMFC scarf, all for just $25 per person. Visit ForwardMadisonFC.com to purchase your tickets today. That's ForwardMadisonFC.com. Forward Madison, fun for all.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion, or your first big lightning strike, There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Families agents. Life's better when you're under American Families' roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
It's a Division Series showdown between heated rivals. After a wild card sweep, the San Diego Padres head to Los Angeles to face the NL West champion Dodgers. Coverage begins today at 8 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
From LA to Piscataway, this is your college football scoreboard update, driven by Metro Ford of Madison.
Good morning, Madison and the entire state of Wisconsin. My name is Riley Yauk, and this is your Metro Ford of Madison scoreboard update, starting with a couple of scores from last night. The Oregon Ducks, 6th-ranked Oregon Ducks, who will be visiting Madison in just a few weeks, defeated the Michigan State Spartans by a score of 31-10. They really handled their business there. And the aforementioned UNLV, 25th-ranked UNLV, fell to the Syracuse Orangemen 44-41 in overtime out in Las Vegas. And some games coming up you want to keep your eye on today. Top 25 matchup in the SEC kicking off at 11. Number 9, Missouri, the Tigers, taking on the Texas A&M Aggies at Kyle Field, the 25th-ranked Aggies, mind you. In the Big Ten, the Iowa Hawkeyes traveling to the Shoe to do battle with the 3rd-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes. That one kicks off at 2:30. The undefeated Rutgers taking on Nebraska, the Cornhuskers, at 3 p.m. as well. And last but certainly not least, the College Gameday game today, number 8, Miami, the Hurricanes, traveling to California to take on the Golden Bears. Should be a good one.
Metro Ford of Madison, Madison's trusted Ford dealership. Learn more at metrofordofmadison.com.
What a fantastic update. We know what's going on around the sporting world today. It's got a great slate of college football. It's October. It's feeling a little bit more like football. There's a lot of sweatshirts in our viewpoint. We just threw out some excellent Iron Jock sweatshirts. I was shocked that they were just giving those away. That was crazy. Awesome. Brad Nortman, Adam Mertz, Alex Gravatt. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, and we've got some Pepsi picks to talk about. Just breaking down all of those games that we were talking about that you heard on our guy Riley Yauk's Sports Center or update.
Basically a Sports Center.
Yeah, right. Riley, you want to take it away here?
All righty, give me 1 sec. Your Pepsi picks for today. Let's see. I don't think we have a bump with this, so we're just going to get right into it. I already mentioned the 4 games in my update for what we will be doing today, starting with a game that kicks off at the same time as the Badgers and Purdue. Great one in the SEC. Number 9 Missouri traveling to Kyle Field to take on the 25th-ranked Texas A&M Aggies. What do you guys think?
What's the line on this game? Do you have that?
1 sec. I can pull it up for you real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
All righty. It is Texas A&M favored by 2.5.
Wow.
A&M favored.
Listen, I know Kyle Field's a tough place to play. I think Missouri, sneaky good team, right? Obviously, they're top 10 in the
SEC.
SEC.
It's not sneaky.
But, they're not talked about as far as, the juggernauts of the college football world, right? That's not far from what Penn State and Oregon are. I feel like they get a lot more publicity than Missouri. So I like Missouri on the road at Texas A&M.
I do too, absolutely. I mean, they're the 9th team in the country. They've been doing some really fantastic things. Sorry as I just smack our guy Brad in the stomach because I dropped my papers. But I don't see a world like A&M is good. They've got a loss, and it was a fine loss to Notre Dame, I think. I have a hard time picking against a top 10 team in the country, even though A&M is fantastic, even though it's a good home field advantage. But to be underdogs as a top 10, that's disrespect. And if their coach is worth anything, they're going to be locked in, and they're going to say, hey, they think we're underdogs despite us earning this spot.
It's funny. I need to remind myself that Missouri's in the SEC. I know it intellectually, but it just is such an odd fit. Remember all that talk about them coming to the Big Ten, way back? They were kind of like them in Kansas around the fringe. Brady Cook has been a really nice quarterback for them, just a steadying influence. kind of guy that you want in that tough road environment. And I know Texas A&M's got the uncertainty at quarterback. They've had the freshman start the last few weeks. Sounds like he'll probably get the nod today, again, over Connor Weigman, who's been injured. So I'm going to go with Missouri, too.
All right, we're all three in agreement. Missouri covers.
All right, go Tigers.
At
it
the
is.
very least, covers.
In the Big Ten out in Columbus, the Hawkeyes taking on the third-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes. This game kicks off at 2:30 p.m. Starting with Adam this time. Who you got?
If Caleb Johnson runs for 300 yards, the Hawkeyes have a chance. Ohio State's just so explosive.
Yeah.
The more this season has played out, it's them, it's Alabama, and it's probably mostly Texas, and I know Georgia's got a ton too. Those are the four teams that I see standing out, and I don't see, even if Iowa's improved offensively, them hanging with Ohio State. Buckeyes don't always blow people out to start a game. They're like that third quarter explosion kind of team, but I think that they'll win going away on this one.
Yeah, I'm right there with your Mertz. Yeah, I think Iowa still hasn't figured out things on offense quite yet. Slightly better than last year, which was historically bad. But Ohio State is just a juggernaut. They really are. And they might be a little tight first quarter, second quarter. But Ohio State's going to score in a burst. And Iowa just doesn't have the capability to come back. So I think Ohio State's like a 17-point favorite.
Sounds right.
I think I got them even covering that because they can just score so quickly, so explosively. And Iowa is just not built to come back and score points in a fast manner. So all it takes is one breaking of the levee, and it's going to be over in Columbus.
Yeah, the line of that was 17.5, like you mentioned. I don't know if, yes, Iowa, I think, has gotten much better on offense. I think that they've figured a lot of things out. I think that, they've got a couple games in the upper 30s. I like what they're doing, but Ohio State knows that this is their window. Michigan is no longer the Michigan we knew. Yes, they have good wins. Yes, they're a good football team. But, it's not the reigning national champions, right? So Ohio State's looking at this saying, we need to smash and be perfect because we need to get ready for Texas and Alabama because they know that at the end of the year, it's those three teams. Georgia lost their game. They can still make it in because of the playoffs, but it is those three teams that it all comes down to, that it all boils down to, and they are – Ryan Day is coaching for his career. He knows that they're gearing up to make a real run at a national championship game, and if they have a real chance to win a national championship, they have to win this game by 25.
Yeah, I think if this game was at Kinnick, it might be a little different. Iowa's somehow, they're able to work some magic at Kinnick night games.
Yep.
But it's not in the shoe. Ohio State favored by 17.5. Keep it in the Big Ten. One more for you. Undefeated Rutgers, currently a 7-point underdog, traveling to Nebraska. This game kicks off at 3.
Wow, 7-point underdog. I thought it was going to be a little closer than that. Talk about two programs where the head coach came in and they were great hires, and they have changed the program. They have changed the confidence level and the identity of the program with Schiano.
Don't know
and Matt
anything about
Rule.
it.
Yeah, I know. Hopefully, though. It's crazy that those are the teams that you want the Badgers to be now. Like, you're looking up at the Big Ten and looking at Rutgers and Nebraska. Nebraska's. I'm gonna go with Nebraska. I don't know. I guess I'll have them cover. Might as well. It's a tough place to play. Dylan Raiola is an excellent quarterback. Matt Rule. From talking to my Panther players when he was the coach at the Panthers. Look, he wasn't an NFL head coach, but he really does instill belief. He's a guy that you like to play for. I think he's instilled belief in Nebraska. Not to say that Schiano hasn't, because I think he has at Rutgers. And they're tough and physical, exactly what his Rutgers teams normally are. But Nebraska does have that untapped potential, right? And I think, they lost. They've been more tested than Rutgers with playing Illinois, with playing Colorado. So give me Nebraska by 10.
Yeah, Nebraska's kind of struggled the last couple of weeks. Hasn't looked great coming home to Memorial Stadium, knowing that this is a game when they kind of establish themselves and separate themselves a little bit from Rutgers. I think that they'll put it together today, and I'm looking for them to also cover.
I feel like I might be the highest on on Rutgers here. I like what Rutgers is doing. I think they've got a good program. I think that the game is going to be closer than 7 points. I am going to go with the home team, Nebraska. If you've been waiting to buy your next home, now is the time. Stop waiting. Get housed. For over 30 years, Bruner Realty has been providing excellent real estate and property management services in the Madison area. Contact their team at BrunerRealty.com to get started today. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. I think that Nebraska's got a lot of things going for them. They're the home team. And in a close game, I know people don't necessarily love playing at Nebraska. It's just a tricky situation, a tricky place. I'm going to take Nebraska to win, not cover.
All righty. I'm going to disagree respectfully on the Nebraska Stadium. Memorial Stadium, I've been there, watched the Wisconsin game a couple years ago. Completely overrated environment. It's nothing special.
Wow.
It was bad. It was
Let
not
them know.
good.
Let them know,
It was not good. It was just like the Coliseum last week. I was also there. They're like, oh, we sold out. And then the stadium's half full. It's like, whatever. Nebraska was the same. It was like 3/4 full, bad atmosphere, no traditions. Lame.
They're going to be there today. They've been paper in the house for years. I think they'll be there today.
How's the balloon let go, though? That always looks cool.
Okay, by the time the game was late in the season when I went, so there were only like 10 balloons that were let go after the first touchdown, and that was so that contributed as well. There was like nothing. It was so lame.
Inventory issues. Inventory issues.
Yes. Okay. Finally, last but not least, the Calgorithm, number 8 Miami traveling to California to take on the Golden Bears. This one kicks off at 9:30 p.m. Central Time. The Hurricanes favored by 10. Brad, what are your thoughts?
I like Miami. I do. Part of me wants Miami. I think college football is better when Miami's good. They're interesting. They're fascinating. So I like Miami to go there and win big. Cal's just not ready for this spotlight. I'm sorry. They're just not. I know that they're hyped with College Game Day and stuff, but the Miami's the better team, and the air can and will leave the stadium quickly when they realize that Miami is indeed the better team, and I think they're going to roll.
Listen, I've not watched Cal football this year, but what I have watched, Cal Ultimate Frisbee. For those of you who don't know, I'm a professional Ultimate Frisbee player. I play for the Madison Radicals. It's an excellent program. It's so much fun, and Cal this year made some waves at Ultimate Frisbee National Championships. Okay, I don't know if they have the firepower to hang with the University of Miami, who I think is a fantastic program. But because I'm bought in to the excitement around their Ultimate Frisbee program, I'm also going to buy in around the excitement around their football program. I say they cover and get their butts kicked by 6. It's never going to be close. It's going to be a backdoor cover, but I'm gonna pick the cover.
I thought I enjoyed seeing this one come on here because this struck me as like one of those Hunter late night specials. That's the reason why this is on. And I did stay up for the end of that Oregon UCLA game last week.
Really?
I kind of fell asleep and then woke back up. I have a feeling I'd have the same reaction in this one. I'd see what I need to see by halftime and then maybe kind of take a little nap and then pop back in the fourth quarter. I think Miami takes care of business.
Yeah, Cam Ward is so good. He's so fun to watch.
Yep.
All right, it is game time coming up here in just 9 minutes. Oh, my goodness. Jones Dairy Farm prides themselves on making the best tasting, high-quality breakfast sausages you can buy. They only use all-natural ingredients right here in Fort Atkinson. To learn more about Jones Dairy Farm's promise, visit jonesdairyfarm.com. We've got our game picks coming up next. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
The countdown to kickoff continues next. You're listening to ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
The Island invites you to fall into golf with late-season rounds at Sweetgrass or Sage Run. The vibrant fall colors and cooler temperatures make for great days out on the golf course. Fall golf rates run September 16th through the end of the 2024 season, with tee time starting at $75 and stay-and-play packages starting at $110. And submit your 2025 golf package requests early to guarantee choice dates. Plan your fall golf adventure today at islandresortgolf.com.
It's a new era for Wisconsin football fans.
The plan for Luke Fickell is not to be a perennial 8-win team. The plan is to figure out a way to get this team to the top.
Taking the conversation digital with the Jump Around 3.0.
But we talk about the Badger basketball, we talked about the Badger football forever. And now that we've taken a swing for the top, we don't like the steps backwards we might have to take.
The Jump Around with Jim Rutledge and Brad Nortman, outfitted by Iron Jock Apparel. Streaming live every Thursday at 12:30 on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Nothing makes being outdoors better than having the right gear and the right crew. So here's an idea. Let Mountain Dew supply the gear and you bring the friends. Because when you buy specially marked multi-packs of Mountain Dew, you can collect points and earn epic limited edition outdoor gear. We're talking everything from custom Mountain Dew camp chairs and backpack coolers to exclusive Mountain Dew tents, fishing boats, and more. So buy Dew, collect points, get gear, and get outside with Mountain Dew outdoor gear.
Open to legal U.S. residents 18+. Subject to program terms at dewoutdoors.com. Ends 12/31/24. Void or prohibited.
ESPN Madison is your new home for Wisconsin Badgers volleyball.
That's a statement win for Wisconsin. Every single night, 7,000 plus, and they are in your face.
From early season showdowns to a run for the national title. Catch every match this season on 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
Wisconsin's where it's at.
Let's go see how high we can go.
Wisconsin Badgers volleyball on ESPN Madison is brought to you by Coors Light, Ridgetop Exteriors, Goodman's Jewelers, Carbon World Health, and North and South Seafood and Smokehouse.
Get more per pour at the Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company. Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company is a Madison original, brewing award-winning craft beers for 30 years. And now, it's time for their bigger and better happy hour. Every Monday through Thursday from 3 until 6 p.m., enjoy 20-ounce pints of the Great Dane's flagship beers for only $3. From Crop Circle Wheat to the Old Glory APA. Head to one of their 4 locations, downtown, Hilldale, Fitchburg, and East Madison. Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's original brew pub since 1994.
Nothing makes being outdoors better than having the right gear and the right crew. So here's an idea. Let Mountain Dew supply the gear and you bring the friends. Because when you buy specially marked multi-packs of Mountain Dew, you can collect points and earn epic limited edition outdoor gear. We're talking everything from custom Mountain Dew camp chairs and backpack coolers to exclusive Mountain Dew tents, fishing boats, and more. So buy Dew, collect points, get gear, and get outside with Mountain Dew outdoor gear.
Open to legal U.S. residents 18+. Subject to program terms at dewoutdoors.com. Ends 12/31/24. Void or prohibited.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Monday, the Chiefs are 4-0, but some, me, say they haven't looked like the Chiefs. I'll tell you why anyone who doubts them is only fooling themselves. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
We've got 4 minutes till kickoff. Badgers Purdue. I'm Alex Gravatt. This is ESPN Wisconsin College Gameday. I'm alongside Brad Nortman and Adam Mertz. Guys, we don't have much time. Let's dive right into it. Brad,
guys,
what is your final score prediction?
My predictions have been sneaky accurate the last couple of weeks. I've been almost nailed the Bama and USC. It's going to be 28-10 this week. Wisconsin's going to win. It's going to be the closest we have felt that there's been a complete game. It's not going to be a 42-10 blowout like we all want, but it'll be 28-10. A little bit of backdoor with the Purdue Boilermakers, but it's going to be the closest game to a complete game we have seen from the Wisconsin Badgers.
Above or below 50% completion rate for the Badgers today?
Exactly 50%.
All right.
Mertz, smartest bet. So Badgers have scored on their first possession in the last 3 games. Love to see them get out to a strong start today and just set this day out right. I've got them winning 34-17, putting up some points.
I've got 250 total yards on the ground, and I've got the Wisconsin Badgers beating the Purdue Boilermakers 23-10. This has been ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, and, of course, it is always brought to you by Coors Light. When you need refreshment on game day, choose a beer that is cold as the Rockies, cold filtered, cold lagered, and cold packaged for peak refreshment. When the mountains are blue, you know what to do, and that is crush a Coors Light. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, and I think the Badgers are going to win. You can take that to the bank. Attention business owners, and executives looking for a bank that's invested in your community, look no further than Starion Bank, your full-service business bank that supports local initiatives. Visit a business banker at one of their convenient locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona today, or go online to starionbank.com. Badgers are rolling. It is ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day on ESPN Wisconsin.
Pizza Hut just changed the combo game with the new My Hut Box. Get your choice of a 2-topping personal pan pizza, a half melt or a full melt, and your choice of either boneless wings or fries. It's the ultimate solo meal starting at only $6.99. Craving pizza and wings? You got it. Want melts and fries? You